Hey guys, you're welcome to Waves Africa YouTube channel where we educate Africans on how to write smart contracts and build apps that runs on the Waves blockchain. So today we are going to be discussing a very important entity on the Waves blockchain, which is the Waves assets. The Waves asset is quite different from the Waves token. Here, the Waves token is the utility token that is powering the Waves ecosystem. It is like the fuel to the Waves engine. It is used for paying fees. It is what you use to pay your trading fees. When you make transaction, it is what you use for paying the Waves token. And also when you are interacting with the apps, it is what you use for paying. It is the main utility token on the Waves ecosystem. While on the other hand, the Waves asset refers to digital cryptocurrencies that are issued by anyone, developers, project owners, and anyone that intends to run an ICO using the Waves blockchain. Now, Waves was the second most popular platform for issuing tokens during the time of ICO boom. That's around 2017, and because it was very easy to do, unlike Ethereum where you needed someone to write you a smart contract and that contract has to be updated for security purposes. It was not like that on Waves. All you needed to do was just a little form that won't take you up to 3 minutes, and you are already done with creating your own cryptocurrency and you could use to run your own project. So as at the time of making this video, there's already more than 20,000 different type of assets that has been issued on the Waves blockchain. Now, if you want to create your own cryptocurrency on Waves blockchain, it will cost you one Waves, and the transaction type for this is called the issue transaction. That is type 3. Remember from my previous videos, we talked about the 16 transactions that are found on the Waves blockchain. So the token asset creation transaction is called the issue transaction and is a type 3 transaction. Also, you could create your own cryptocurrency using the web client or the desktop client, your Mac or the one running on Linux or Windows. Okay, so something is quite important and it got the interest of a lot of project owners and developers before they thought about creating their own token on the Waves blockchain. And it is very important to understand that any asset that is created when you create your own cryptocurrency on the Waves blockchain, it is created and it works directly with the blockchain. Okay, it is embedded directly into the blockchain. It is not issued with a contract or pegged to a contract that is running on the blockchain. Okay, it is injected directly into the Waves blockchain, and due to that it inherits every features that is being offered by the Waves blockchain, like the speed of the network that is fostered by the Waves NG protocol, and the ease of use. And also, once you create an asset on the Waves blockchain, the assets can be traded immediately on the Waves decentralized exchange. That same asset can be transferred immediately on the Waves exchange. All right. So instant usage for any asset that is created on the Waves platform. And meanwhile, while we are talking about the Waves assets, it kind of takes three shapes, and I will explain all of them. We have the Waves assets. This is the regular, the default structure, the default nature of an asset when it's created on the Waves blockchain. We have another category called the NFT, which is non-fungible tokens, and we have another category called the smart assets. Let's look at them quickly. The Waves asset here is the regular asset that is created on the Waves blockchain by following few procedures, or as a developer you could create the asset using any of the libraries that are available on Waves blockchain, the C library, the JavaScript library, the Rust library, and the others. Now, this asset has a name. Let's look at it here. By default, the asset has a name, like the example I used here. The name of the token is Waves Dev token. All right, and it has a description. and it must have a total supply. This is referring to the number of that tokens that will be created, and you have to choose if it's reissuable or not reissuable. Reissuable in this context means if I create a token and the total supply I created is 1,000,000 waves dev token. Okay, now if I create it as a reissuable token, it means there will be a possibility for me to create an extra supply for this token in the future. But if I choose not reissuable, as you can see here, it means that the total supply of this token would always be 100,000,000. That means it cannot be inflated later or printed more later. Alright, and after that you have to choose how many decimals, how divisible is your token going to be. Here, as you can see, I choose 2 decimal places, and we have an option to choose if this asset we are creating is a smart asset. I will explain that quickly, so let's keep that for now. So this place is just a preview of what we just did. This is the name of the token, this is the total supply dot, and it's showing us the decimal places. You can see 00 here because I chose 2 decimal places. Okay, now before creating the token, you will have to agree with some terms on the Waves platform that you won't use this token for fraudulent activities. You won't try to duplicate what has been existing before. You just have to read through these rules and regulation, and all you have to do is say I understand. Just click on this checkbox and ensure you have up to 1 waves. You are seeing this red warning sign because while I was making this video, I didn't have up to 1 waves on the account. But if you have 1 waves on your account, all you have to do is this generate button will be active. All you have to do is click it and boom, you just created your own cryptocurrency. I think that's so amazing. It won't take you up to 3 minutes to fill up this space, and my friends, you have your own cryptocurrency issued immediately. And another amazing thing you should understand here is you are not concerned about auditing the security of this code or the contract, because no, immediately this asset is issued, is integrated directly to the Waves blockchain, and instantly it can be traded. You can start selling it, you can start using it to raise your own funds, and you can start transferring it, do whatever you want immediately. So when we look at this place, we just explain the Waves asset. Now, what's the non-fungible tokens? We need to see something here that will help us understand the non-fungible tokens. While the non-fungible tokens is quite similar to the Waves default Waves asset, there are some remarkable differences that we have to pay attention to. Remember here, we said this is the total supply of the Waves dev token we are creating. So this implies that there will be 1,000,000 Waves dev token. Is that not? Yes, it is. So what happen is this entirety of the 1,000,000 Waves dev token will share the same asset ID. An asset ID is an ID that differentiates one asset from the other, even if they might bear the same name or look familiar or whatever. But the asset ID is what differentiates two assets on the Waves platform. And as a developer, while writing your dApps, while writing your smart contract, the asset ID is something that is very, very important, so that when you are setting some conditions, there's always a parameter for asset ID, so that the system would be able to understand which of the assets you are really referring to. So said here we have that 1,000,000 supply of this token was created, but the 1,000,000 tokens share the same asset ID. But in the case of the non-fungible tokens, the total supply can only be one. That means if we create 100 non-fungible tokens, that means there will be different 100 non-fungible tokens with different 100 asset ID. Okay, It means they cannot be missed. It is unique. It's a non-fungible token. This is mostly important for anyone that is looking to build games that uses the Waves blockchain technology, because a non-fungible token can be used to represent a character in your game. So there is no way there will be two of that character in a single game. Any character you have on your game is going to be unique. All right. So let's look at this other one, which is the smart asset. The smart asset also seems like the Waves default asset, but it is like an upgraded version of it. Why is it smart? In the previous video we had before this, we talked about smart account. That is an account that has a script installed on it and thereby causes it to have a different behavior. That's same case here. So a smart asset is a Waves asset with script. The script here is an instruction that is coded with RIDE, and RIDE is the default official programming language for writing smart contract and building the apps on the Waves blockchain. So when you create an asset on the Waves blockchain, anyone can trade it an amount they feel like trading. They can send it anywhere they wish to send it. But in the case of the smart asset, we can bring in some limitation, we can bring in some rules, we can bring in some guide and determine how this token will work and who would use it. All right, that's the core place the smart asset comes into play. So let's look at it quickly. I said while you are creating an asset, this is the option I said we should leave and we can talk about it now. This option, once you click on it, enable script. Just like as I did here, a box is opened and this box is ready to accept your instructions. As you can see here that is highlighted with red, the script can be developed if you go to ide.wavesplatform.com. That is the environment where you can write, test and deploy smart contracts. So while after writing your code, your instructions with RIDE, all you have to do is come here and paste the code here. Actually, you are not pasting the raw code. You are going to encode it. Okay, you are going to encode it. And once it's encoded, you just come here and paste it. Now, let's think about a place where the Wave smart asset can come into play. For instance, uh, you create a token for your project and you don't want this token to sell below a certain price. What do? You use the right programming language to write these instructions. I don't want this token I created to be less than one waves. Okay, that means if anyone tries to place a sell or buy order and which does not equate the token to one waves, that order cannot be executed. All right. Another case where you have the smart asset come into place is, for instance, due to your kind of project you are running, you created an asset for your project, but based on some legal conditions or issues of regulation and jurisdiction, only verified traders that has passed some test with your company or that has met the legal requirement are allowed to trade your asset. So what do? You use the right programming language to whitelist these addresses and you bring the code and you bring the smart contract and deploy it on this asset. All you have to do is to paste it here. Just paste it here, and once it is pasted, it is executed. Now whenever any Waves account tries to trade your asset on the Waves exchange, the exchange will first of all check the contract that is on the asset. If the person's account is not whitelisted, it means that person is not authorized to trade that asset. The Waves client will return, the desk will return an error message informing the trader that he or she is not allowed to trade this asset. You can also use the smart asset to regulate your price. You can add an increase. I want this token to be increasing by +2 every day or +2 for every 5,000 block. All right. So the smart asset just allows you to bring in business logic as so that your project can align with whatever terms and rules and regulation you want. Because remember, the Waves platform is a decentralized platform. So when you release an asset, you have no control of how people use this asset. So the smart asset is actually an upper hand to help you implement your business logic and regulate certain things about your asset. So on this Waves token upcoming, we'll be talking about the smart asset, use cases, and how to deploy this script. We'll talk about the NFT too, how you can create your own NFT tokens. And previously in our videos, we talked about the sponsored transaction, but coming this March, we'll be talking more about sponsored transactions and you will see how it works. Thanks guys for staying with us, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. In our upcoming videos also, we'll be exploring how we can use the Waves token and the smart asset feature to create decentralized finance solutions that will solve a lot of real world problems in Africa. Okay, ensure you stay tuned here, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to drop on the comment section, and follow us on Twitter at waves_Africa, and our Telegram group, also our Telegram community. You'll join us there too. And when you check the description of this video, you will find a PDF version of this video you can download and you could use whenever you want. Thanks guys, and hope to see you soon.